What's up, guys? Mr. Also here. Know it's about that time to try to choose a whole new console. Xbox Series X or S or PlayStation 5. Or you probably want to stick with your PC or stick with your Switch. Could be a tough decision. Most people out there will probably get both, but it's probably not reality for everyone. So it is an investment for like 6 to 8 years. So it could be a tough decision. A lot of people out here are fanboys. You know, we got the Xbox people, the PS5 people. Maybe you don't want to be a PlayStation person anymore. Maybe you like Game Pass. Maybe you want to try it out. Well, I know it's a tough decision, but I'm here to try to help to make that decision for you a little bit easier. All right, so let's look at all the options you have in front of you. Let's try to make a choice. So this website called inverse.com, we're nice enough to put all the information on one place for us. This is good so we don't have to scour the internet going to xbox.com or playstation.com just to try to figure out which one I wanted to choose. All right, let's look at our options. It was like first up, PlayStation 5. I remember there was a meme that looked like a router or a spaceship. I think it looks kind of cool, little curved edges or whatever. I just don't know how good it will look in a living room unless you got like a futuristic living room. Kind of look like something that would be on the Jetsons. I don't know if you guys know that. It's kind of an old reference. But yeah, so right, this PlayStation comes in two prices. Got $499 for the one that comes with the disc drive, and the other one is $399. Doesn't come with the disc drive. Those are the only differences between these two options. The biggest thing for to have a disc drive is if you like Blu-rays or if you like physical copies of the game. Another reason why you probably would want to stay away from the digital version is have lower bandwidth at your house or a slow internet connect. Those games are pretty big. It's gonna take a really long time to download each and every one of them. And usually with the disc, it downloads it from the disc, or I don't know if this is done exactly or not, or I don't know if this is true or not, if it actually installs from the disc. In my opinion, in the past, like you bought the disc just to say that you own it, and they still had to update the game, which is basically installing the whole game from the internet. So this is something that you can game with, run at 120 frames per second. It's got the 16 gigs of RAM to help your games load faster. Also, speaking of loading faster, you got the SSD storage, which is kind of weird to me that they just don't give you a whole terabyte. They give you 825 gig. For some reason, I don't know, but yeah, but that's how much you get on the PlayStation 5. Now, a lot of people would probably say that the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition is the better deal across the board because you get the bigger specs, but just get the bigger specs while sacrificing the digital drive. There's a lot of people digital games nowadays anyway, and it's not even important to them. So even with the Xbox $299 one doesn't have the same specs, as the regular X. The Series S, you don't have the 4K. You only have 4 teraflops of GPU power, and you get 10 gigs of RAM. So it's not going to be as powerful as all the other consoles. PlayStation 5 also comes with accessories. You get headphones, you get the extra controllers. You know, that's the charger base. Got a webcam here. This is questionable to me. I don't know the last time I actually used a remote with a console. I think the last remote I used with the console was Xbox 360, but then I bought it and never used it. A lot of people, when they're using their gaming console, they mostly use their video game controllers. So we'll see how much that sells, but yeah, it comes with it. Right here, it's like who should be getting it. Fans of Sony, folks who with robust internet connections. Basically, if you have faster internet speeds, you basically should get the digital edition. Price isn't an issue to you. You can get all of them if you want it, but this is pretty much. And then also another reason to get a PlayStation 5 is if you like their exclusives. They also got the 3D audio thing they're talking about, to where you can actually hear, grass rustling or moving, stuff like that. I want to believe that they did a great job on that, but I want to go to the store and hear it first before I make my investment into that, because it could be just marketing jumbo. Hopefully, I'm probably going to get the PlayStation and the Xbox, so stay tuned so I can put my reviews up and you can get my opinion on both of them. Alright, so the next one is the Xbox Series X. The Xbox comes with an 8-core processor, 12 teraflops of locked GPU power. That means there's no overclocking, which I don't know if you're going to overclock your console anyway. I probably wouldn't do it. It'll probably avoid your warranty. Got your 16 gigs of RAM, 120 frames per second, up to 120 frames per second. Because remember, a lot of games that's on Xbox One right now are at 30 frames per second. Destiny 2 is coming out at 60 frames per second. So you're going to have a lot of games that are probably going to try to push the envelope to 120. I think most games are probably going to come out to 60. The resolution is up to 8K. That's if you got an 8K television. Not that many people have one, so you make your decision if that really matters to you. Has the Blu-ray HD drive, and it has the terabyte of NVMe SSD. Now, I don't know if you know the difference between regular SSD and NVMe, but I can pull it up for you real quick. And if this matters to you, NVMe SSD looks like this. It goes straight into the motherboard, rather than a regular SSD that actually has connectors like a regular hard drive into a computer. The reason you should probably get an Xbox Series X is if you're a die-hard Xbox gamer, but also if you love all the exclusives that come out with it. Now, most of their exclusives come out on PC too, so if you got a high-level PC, probably not going to want to get an Xbox unless you want something that's more portable to move around the house. Speaking of portable, Xbox also has cloud gaming within their Game Pass Ultimate subscription, which gives you Xbox Live, gives you Xbox Game Pass, and it gives you the cloud gaming so where you could play on your cell phone, tablet, or any other portable device that you want. These are mostly for exclusives and everything that's within Game Pass. Now the Series S, I believe the Series S are people that are really on a budget but really want to game on next gen. To me, it's a really dumbed down version of the Series X. You don't get as much power, still get the high frame rates though, and you still get the resolution that you want. I don't know why this says an HD Blu-ray disc drive, because it does not come with a disc drive. It's a full digital device. You get 512 gigabytes of storage, and that's going to be on the SSD too, but it's going to be a little bit cheaper one and not as fast as the other one on the X. The reason you should get an Xbox Series S if you want to play on Xbox and want to get in there on a budget. If you like to play a lot of retro and indie games, because Xbox does have a big library of backwards compatible games and a lot of great indie games to go with it, and a lot of their indie games are on their Ultimate Game Pass too. If you don't care about physical copies, but like I said, with the digital versions, you have to have a reliable internet connection. It has to be pretty fast if you want to download those games. If you don't, then you'll be sitting hours waiting for a game to download onto the hard drive. But also if you play games while downloading, it's going to be slower to download that game or to install that game. At least that was the case on this gen. On Xbox One, if you played the game while installing the game, it takes a long time for the game to install. Hopefully they fixed that on this, but maybe they didn't. So if you don't have a fast internet connection, do not get the digital version. Save your money and try to get a more expensive one, Series X, or get a higher internet connection. In my opinion, the best deal is the PlayStation 5 digital, because $400, get all the high-end specs without sacrificing much. Only thing you're really sacrificing is the drive and the Xbox games. But you can get Game Pass and play the Xbox games on your phone if you're really interested. It's not that much. It's $15 a month. You can stop, or you can start and stop whenever you want. Play the Xbox games on your Xbox or whatever. Or maybe you get the PlayStation right now, and then if you really want to get into Xbox games, then just get the digital version, because you're not going to be, and maybe those games aren't that important to you, but you want to dabble into them. Maybe you haven't played Halo in 10 years and you want to catch up and play. Well, you don't really need to get the Series X to do that. You can get the Series S, the $299 one. Now, in my opinion, if you're really on a budget, then I would go with the Series S. Maybe if you're on a budget, you don't have a 4K television, you're not willing to upgrade yet, and you can use it with all the current televisions that you have in your house, or use a monitor. And if you use a monitor, it goes to 1440p, so it'll still be clear, you'll still get to 120 frames per second, and you can still game pretty well. Well, there we go. I hope this helped you make your decision of which console that you're going to get. And it's an investment. It's not an easy answer to this. So if you enjoyed this content, go ahead and press the like button for me. It'll really help out the channel. Also, if you want to see more content like this, decision making and gaming, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes Saturdays. Also make video gaming news videos and updates, some tech stuff. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of that. And see you later. All right.